Good evening. My name is Zach Van Gorder. I'm here tonight to talk to you about an exciting new business entering the Chapel Hill area, the Borough Bar and Grill. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about three things. I'm going to be talking about our product and service, we're talking about our target market, and our strengths and weaknesses. So first, when you think about a steakhouse, you think of one of two types of places typically. First, you either think of your upscale restaurant, like a Ruth's Chris, a high-end place that's going to cost $50, $60, maybe even $100 to get a meal. Or you think of your low-end chain, typically Western in theme. Usually your server has a cowboy hat or a bandana on, and there's usually a bunch of wacky stuff on the walls. So we at the Borough Bar and Grill found that in the Chapel Hill area, there's a huge gap in the market. There is not a place where you can get a good steak at a reasonable price in a hip and influential atmosphere, and that's where we come in. We found a location, 104 West Franklin Street, that we think is perfect for our new venture. It's located minutes from the University of Chapel Hill, seconds from the Dean Dome, and in the prime shopping district of the area. The UNC's campus is going to be huge for our success. Their students are in masses throughout the spring and fall semester, and we think they're going to be crucial to our success. Additionally, the Dean Dome brings in 22,000 viewers at least once a week for 5 or 6 months a year, and typically all that parking is done just minutes away from where we're located. So you're going to have tons of guests coming into the area around dinner time typically, and we think that that's going to be a huge upswing in our sales. Additionally, we're going to have our own in-house butcher. We're going to process all of our meats on site. This is going to save us on operating costs. It's going to be less expensive with our manufacturer, and we're going to be able to ensure that we have the top quality product for our guests. Moving on to our product here. So here's an example of some of our menu items. As you can see, we have some traditional items. We've got your sirloins, your ribeyes, your fillets, typical things you expect to see in a steakhouse. However, one thing that separates the Borough Bar and Grill from your other steakhouse is that we've instituted an Asian flair on a lot of our items. We think this is going to really separate us from your run-of-the-mill steakhouse. So your steaks are going to come with an Oriental-style rub or a glaze, something that's really going to separate it from your typical steak. Also, you can see here on our starters and sides, we have a lot of unique items like collard green egg rolls or pimento cheese wonton. So these are some familiar flavors, but they're done in an elevated fashion that's really going to generate a lot of interest, especially with the young 20 to 25-year-olds, that kind of market we're looking for. Some of the benefits that we're going to be offering, we're going to focus on having fresh, high-quality food. A lot of people tend to overlook the simple things in a restaurant, and these things are fundamental. And we're going to use local farmers markets. We're going to be able to get our produce quickly and affordably, and we're going to be able to ensure the utmost freshness. We're also going to be doing all of our spice rubs in-house, and all this together is going to give us that classic American-style dish with an Asian twist. Continue on to our marketing here. So we're going to be looking for typically most students, usually around the ages of 20 and up. We're hoping to get those slightly older students because we do have a full bar, and we're going to try to optimize on that late night crowd. We're also going to be trying to draw the alumni crowd in during events, and we're also going to be trying to draw those students' families when they come to town, as well as those coming to the basketball games. So let's talk a little more about our target market. So, in the area, there are about 175 restaurants in Chapel Hill, such as ice cream shops, pizza shops, bakeries, anything that you can think of. There are a few steakhouses in the area, but they're not very similar to us. We have a few that are more traditional steakhouses, like your Russell's or your Heartland. Both these are a little outside of downtown, and we don't think they're really going to hinder our business that much. They tend to draw an older crowd. Moving on, let's talk a little bit about our strengths and weaknesses. I've drawn up a SWOT analysis here for a quick comparison. So some of our big strengths. Our menu is very unique. It's something that a lot of people haven't seen before, and I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy. Also, our location is prime. You can't get a better location in the Chapel Hill area. We're right next to the sporting event, right next to the campus. If you want to come downtown or into Franklin Street, you're going to have to go by us. Additionally, I've hired the utmost experienced individuals to run. I've got an incredibly talented executive chef coming in as well as a very qualified general manager and a head front of house staff member. Let's talk about our major weakness. We are near a campus. So in the summer months, usually from the end of May to the beginning of August, we are going to have a downturn in volume. I think that we're going to be busy enough to where we can counteract that. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. Some of our opportunities. We are on the cutting edge of new technological developments in the restaurant industry. We've got state-of-the-art POS systems, which are where you enter your orders. We've got a restaurant app, free internet access. All this is just to draw in a younger crowd. We also are going to capitalize on some of our competitor vulnerabilities. The steakhouses in the area aren't very close to where we are, and they're not really doing that well. Moving on to a few threats. So there is a possibility that we may not do well. This primarily is because there are so many options in the Franklin Street area. I think that we're going to be able to carve out a nice niche and really do well from ourselves. And that's about it for the Borough Bar and Grill. I really appreciate you taking this time to listen to my presentation, and thank you very much.